And I'm gonna start my slideshow. All right, ta-da, we're looking at cell division, and there are two types of cell division, so you get to fill in the blanks. I'll talk, you write. So mitosis makes new body cells. And those are for growth and development.
Everything okay over there?
Oh, it is picking up a lot of, you know, he just dumped the pencil sharpener on the floor. Okay. So mitosis is for body cells, growth and development. It's called, they're actually called your somatic cells, but don't stress over that. And what they do is they make cells that are identical to the parent. Okay, you know what? You guys keep writing. I have to run downstairs and get an example. I'll be right back. I brought something for show and tell. I'm hoping. Sorry about that. That's one of the 2 annual tests. Okay. Sorry, that was probably so close to the microphone when that happened. There we go. All right. So, actually, I'm going to stop my share and just what do I want? This one. Okay, there we go. So I went and brought a plant. This is actually from home. It needs to be repotted, but I brought it in because it works really good in this section. This is a spider plant. And you can see it's got lots and lots and lots and lots of babies. Stop moving that around. And I will. I'm going to share this. Oops. Oh, okay, that works. All right, I'll share it to the camera. I've lost my camera. There we go. You guys know what spider plants look like anyway. Okay? So I got this huge thing, and it's really cool because I have been a really bad plant mama lately. I keep forgetting to water this thing. So what has happened is it's kind of freaking out and thinking it's about to die. So it has been reproducing not only lots and lots of these little spiders to make babies, but it's also, see if I can find one, been producing right here by my finger. Okay, gonna try and focus that. It's not gonna work. Basically, it's been producing seed pods. Okay, that's my point. That's why I dragged the plant here. So the spiders, the little babies here, that is asexual reproduction. That's mitosis. These little spiders are going to be exactly the same as the mama plant. The seed ones may or may not be exactly the same. All right, I'm going to get rid of this and go back to the PowerPoint. It so needs a new pot and some love. And it even just gave me a seed. Okay, back to the PowerPoint. So I hope you got that all. So this one, we got the new cell growth, and it's identical to parent. And in humans, we start with 46 and we end with 46 because it's going to be identical. So every single cell in your body, except your sperm and your eggs, has 46 chromosomes. Every single cell is made by mitosis. And it's only one cell division. And when you do that, it's also called asexual reproduction, and all of them are clones. Okay, on the other hand, meiosis, or in the video they say meiosis, I'm not sure, I always taught meiosis, it's gonna make your gametes. So from before, you should be familiar with the word gamete, that's your sperm and eggs, and they are different from the parent cell, and they have half as many chromosomes. So when the sperm has 23 and the egg has 23, you make a baby with 46. So you get that fertilized zygote and everything's back together. And this is two cell reproductions, and it's sexual reproduction, and you get variety. Sexual reproduction speeds up this evolution. And evolution is the basis pretty much of all of biology in grade 12.
That sounds like some X-Men going on over there.
A little bit. Cool stuff. All right, we're good?
We're good.
All right, so a little bit about chromosomes and stuff. Hold on. I realize I'm showing a picture of my hand and it's not that pretty. Okay, come on. Come on, camera. Why isn't it working? Okay, well, I guess you're just going to see that picture in the corner. Sorry. So chromosomes are found in the nucleus of the cell. We know that from when we were doing our diagrams. They contain all the genetic information required to make an organism. Okay, this is really bothering me. You guys just keep writing. I'm going to stop the share. Now maybe it'll change. There we go. Okay, now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. I know. There. Now I'm back on the screen, and that makes me feel happy. So there you got your cell. And in the nucleus is going to be your chromosomes. And if you look at those chromosomes, they're made up of DNA. So DNA is the actual chemical that does it. It's kind of like if you think of the letters in the alphabet as like DNA, and then a chromosome, actually a gene is like a word, and a chromosome is like a book. So the picture doesn't have genes on it, but genes is like in between here. And genes code for a specific protein or trait. And DNA is a chemical compound that makes it up. And there's no connection between, I want to say, your intelligence or how advanced an organism is and the number of chromosomes. So we have 46, cucumbers have 14, elk have 68, and the best I could find is a blue butterfly has 452 chromosomes. I think cats have more, dogs have less, or it's reversed.
Tiger has 38.
Tiger's got 38, so cats probably have close to what a tiger has.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it really depends on the organism. All right, so we are going to watch a video, and I want you to answer the questions as we go. And I just realized, sorry, I got to stop the share again. I forgot to tell it to have computer sound, because videos are so much better when there's sound.
When I was a kid,
looked down
I always thought I would take over the family business.
To find some
You know,
cut.
following Mom's
You
footsteps.
have no idea where it came from or how you got it.
Okay.
So you put a
ever
bandage on
since
it, and a
Gina-
few days later, it's gone. It's all healed, and you don't even think anything of it.
Sammy, you've got sound?
Yeah, I got sound.
All right, just checking.
Of this amazing process.
All right, here we go. Start.
Have you ever looked down at your leg or your arm to find some cut, and you have no idea where it came from or how you got it? So you put a bandage on it, and a few days later, it's gone. It's all healed, and you don't even think anything of it, of this amazing process that causes this to happen. Or let's say you're looking at your nails, and you notice they're a lot longer since the last time you cut them. Or let's say you're looking in the mirror, and you notice that you are a lot bigger than you were when you were 5 years old. What do all of these things have in common? Well, one major thing they have in common is mitosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division done by most of your body cells, and it's really important for cells to divide. If they didn't divide, you wouldn't grow. I mean, how do you grow if you can't make more cells, right? So one reason why you're bigger than you were when you were 5 is mitosis. Mitosis also is great for repair of damage. If you have some kind of accident, like when we were talking about that cut on your arm or leg, well, you want to make sure it gets repaired well. So you have to make more cells to do that. Mitosis is great for that. Now, it's really important to understand what it is not. Mitosis is not a process that makes sperm or egg cells, because that's something different called meiosis, which sounds like mitosis, unfortunately, but it's a different process. Mitosis is done to produce body cells. Mitosis makes identical cells. That is the goal, identical cells. So if you're trying to make more skin cells to replace worn out or damaged skin cells, you don't want to start suddenly making stomach cells there. That would be ridiculous. You want to make sure you have identical cells replacing what was lost. So mitosis makes identical cells. It's a really important thing. Now, it's also important to understand that your cells are not dividing all the time. If all they did was divide, it would just be rapid, crazy growth. In fact, this is kind of what cancer is. Cancer is uncontrolled cell growth. We have a clip on the cell cycle and what the cell is usually doing most of its daily life, which is actually a phase called interphase, where it's growing and replicating its DNA and carrying out its daily cell functions. That's where cells spend most of their time in respect to the whole cell cycle. Mitosis is a very short amount of time in respect to the whole cell cycle. But mitosis is a critical process because this is where it is going to divide and make more cells. Before we get into the steps of division, it's really important to understand that your cells have something inside them, an organelle called the nucleus. And the nucleus holds your DNA. DNA is really important because it's your genetic information. And if you're going to make more cells, you need to have the same DNA in those new cells as you did in your original cells. You want it to be identical, no mistakes. Very important. The problem is you've got a lot of DNA. And we've got to get that DNA into the new cells using mitosis. So there has to be a better way to organize that DNA. Well, what actually happens is that DNA can be organized into these condensed units called chromosomes. Chromosomes are made of DNA and protein. You've probably heard before that humans have 46 chromosomes. That means 46 chromosomes are found in most human body cell nuclei. What are nuclei? Well, it's the plural of nucleus. You don't say nucleuses, you say nuclei. Well, in the nuclei, there are 46 chromosomes. Organizing DNA into condensed chromosomes makes it a lot easier to move over when you're making new cells. So if you have 46 chromosomes in a human body cell, you have to duplicate those chromosomes in interphase before mitosis starts. That basically means you're duplicating your DNA, since chromosomes are made of DNA and protein. You have to do this before mitosis starts because if you're going to make an identical cell that has 46 chromosomes, just like the original, well, it makes sense you have to duplicate the genetic material before splitting. So if you look at our cell cycle video clip, we talk about interphase. That's a stage where most of the time cells are spending their time. They're actually duplicating their DNA during that time. So ready for the tricky part? Well, because we tend to count chromosomes by the number of centromeres present, when the 46 chromosomes duplicate, we still say there are 46 chromosomes, as the sister chromatids are still attached, and we're counting by centromeres. So 46 chromosomes here, they replicate in interphase, and you still have 46 chromosomes in this picture, but you went from 46 to 92 chromatids. We have a video explaining that in more depth and how that factors in for mitosis. Okay, so now we can get right into mitosis. I like to tell students to remember PMAT. It's a little acronym that helps you remember. The P is for prophase, the M is for metaphase, the A is for anaphase, and the T is for telophase. So remember PMAT, the stages in order. The very first step is prophase. Prophase because it's the beginning step, the nucleus is still there, and it's going to go away later on, but this is a stage where it's actually still there. The chromosomes are visible. In fact, we say they're condensing, which means they are thickening and visible. The next stage is metaphase. M for metaphase, but I also like to remember M for middle because in this stage, the chromosomes line up in the middle of the cell. The nucleus has been disassembled. It's no longer there, so we've got the chromosomes in the middle waiting there. Next, the A is for anaphase. In anaphase, I like to think as the A for away. The chromosomes move away. They are moving to opposite sides of the cell, so they are moving towards the poles of the cell. Now, one thing to point out, these chromosomes, they're not moving by themselves. They actually have something called spindles. These spindles are fibers that help move the chromosomes to the ends. Kind of helps them move along. The last stage of mitosis, think T for telophase. In telophase, the chromosomes are actually at the complete opposite ends, and new nuclei are forming on each side to make these two new cells. The nuclei are starting to surround the chromosomes on both sides. I like to think of the T for 2 because you can really see in this step that the end goal is going to be 2 cells, and in the human body, they're each going to have 46 chromosomes. And again, remember, they are identical. Now, cytokinesis is responsible for the final separation into 2 cells by splitting the cytoplasm, which completes after the PMAT mitosis stages. So why did all this matter? Without understanding cell division, we wouldn't understand how growth and repair happens, because they both require more cells to be made. Understanding mitosis is also very important for cancer research. Cancer itself is uncontrolled cell growth. So in other words, uncontrolled mitosis. Well, that's it for the Amoeba Sisters, and we remind you to stay curious.
All right, let's do a quick review. Hey, Sammy, what 3 things happen during interphase?
Growth, DNA, and cell function.
Okay. Yeah, DNA replication and all the cell
Yes.
functions.
Yeah. I just.
All right. What % of the cell cycle is in mitosis, Tristan? Pardon? 10%. So 10% is dividing, the other 90% is the growth, the repair, DNA replication. 4 steps to mitosis. Sam, what are they?
Prophase,
Mm-hmm.
metroprophase.
Metaphase.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
And anaphase.
Yep.
Am I seeing that right?
Yes, you are.
And telophase or telophose.
Perfect. So prophase is getting ready, where they pair up. Metaphase are in the middle. Anaphase, they're coming apart. And telophase, they're starting to form 2 nuclei. And the very last step, Tristan, where the actual cell divides. Sweet. I think we're going to call it there for today. I'm going to stop the video, but don't disappear quite yet.